Exploring living in Charleston, South Carolina. The things no one is talking about. Have you asked yourself what's the catch? Like, why are people moving to Charleston and the Low Country? Like 78 people a day? That's crazy. I'm going to peel back some of the dark secrets and transparency with Charleston, South Carolina. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what's the big deal with Charleston, Ryan? Wonderful weather for one. One of the first things you're going to love about Charleston is our weather. With around 10 months of sunny days, it's a stark contrast to places where you might spend most of the year shoveling snow. You simply just can't beat Charleston's pleasant climate. Another great reason is our beautiful beaches. I mean, Charleston boasts several stunning beaches, each with its own unique charm. All right, Ryan, so not everything in Charleston can be great, right? There's got to be some problems. Yeah, there are. One being traffic. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things, noticeable differences that I'd say a lot of people versus 8 years ago to moving here today that I'm noticing is just how much traffic there is. There's traffic everywhere. It's constant. It's not as bad as New York City traffic. So if you know what that's like, it's nothing close to that. It's just bad enough where it's getting to the point where people are like starting to lose their cool a little bit. Like you're starting to see road rage incidents. I'll tell you what, in this area, you do not want to get into a road rage incident. So traffic is the only issue you have there? No, we've got other issues, high rent costs. Renting in Charleston can be very expensive, making it less economical option compared to owning a home. Most of you might be like, well, Ryan, rent there's like $3,000, $3,600 a month. Yeah, but owning a home can be pretty much close to the same thing. Unless you're trying to own $1 million mansion, looking at $5,000 to $6,000 a month, but it's just not an economical option to rent. Spend 12 months spending $3,000 at $36,000 a year paid out. None of that money is in your own pocket. It's not in your own equity. I look at buying a home here kind of much like opening a bank account. You're going to put some money into the bank account just to get it started. And then once you own that home, all the equity over time or the money you put into the home is going to feed the bank account. So when you go to sell, it's like emptying the bank account. You're emptying all that money back into your pocket. So you have to think about it like that. You can't look at it as like, oh, rent is, I'm going to have a house and there's going to be all these problems. No, renting a home here really doesn't make sense long term. That's why I'm a big fan of purchasing a home, because when we moved here, it allowed us to build equity. And now we have a ton of equity in our home. Okay, so we got traffic, rent is high. There's got to be some good things too. Absolutely there is. You have affordable housing. There are some neighborhoods that allow you to still have 4.99% interest rate. You still have the builder paying all of your closing costs, and the prices of the homes are still relatively affordable in comparison to the rest of the nation. Charleston offers great homes at affordable prices, and there's no shortage of inventory. Plus, South Carolina has some of the lowest property taxes in the nation, making it an excellent choice for homeowners. And it's just not about affordable housing. The job market here is on fire. I mean, you have major corporations coming and opening their doors here. You've got Volvo, Google, Amazon, Walmart, Boeing, Mercedes-Benz. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And then on top of it, if you work in the healthcare industry, you've got hospitals expanding and actively hiring. The job growth is attracting people from all over the world. Well, Ryan, but what about hurricanes and tornadoes? Well, one, we don't get tornadoes. And two, hurricanes are just a part of life here. Listen, living close to the coastline can mean dealing with potential or mandatory evacuations during hurricane season. However, for fishing enthusiasts, a good storm can be an excellent time of year to cast your line. That's another one. Fantastic fishing. I mean, this area, after a storm, fishing in Charleston can be fantastic. It's also a popular activity for both locals and visitors. The offering of opportunity to catch some major seafood is there. And I mean, you can even do some deep fishing, you can deep water fishing, and then you're pulling out fish that are like this big are huge. Now, my other personal favorite thing about this area is dining and entertainment. Charleston is a hub for world-class dining and entertainment. Treating yourself to a night out is a must. But remember to plan ahead, as parking can be a challenge in downtown Charleston. It is. You can drive around a couple of blocks and still not find parking. I honestly recommend getting a good parking lot where it's a pay-to-park situation. That tends to be a little bit less hectic. Is parking always bad? Yeah, I mean, limited downtown parking, finding parking can be a hassle, especially during busy times in the city. Plan ahead or consider using rideshare services to avoid the parking problems. I mean, it's the only real thing you can do. I do have a lot of people who have had cars broken into downtown. You have to be very aware of your surroundings because you may see, people might be looking out at you and your car. They might be watching you once you leave your car. There's a lot of break-ins and things like that because there's groups that organize these break-ins. Sometimes I always tell people you got to kind of watch out for the kids who have the palmetto leaf roses and stuff like that. They've been known to pickpocket and stuff. So you have to be careful. Just don't leave yourself open for any issues. Don't leave anything personal in your car that you wouldn't want to come back and it be missing. That's one of the biggest things I talk to people about is just you have to be aware of your surroundings when you're in downtown Charleston. All right, so when you get out of your car and you're walking to the location that you plan to go check out or go eat or go shopping at, walking in the heat can be miserable. Oh, this is the part that drives me nuts. I'm a bigger guy. I sweat a lot. I have hyperhidrosis, so it just happens. It's not anything I can control. But the summers in Charleston can be scorching, especially if you're not used to the southern heat. Comfortable shoes and staying hydrated are essential. You do not want to pass out from a lack of hydration, especially when you're trying to navigate the city on foot, the uneven, steps or paths or walkways. I mean, it can be somewhat debilitating. So you need to make sure you got your comfortable sneakers on, and you got to make sure you got some water with you. It'll really help go a long way. So there you are, you're downtown, you're walking around, you're having some fun, and now you see all the beauty. And that's the other part that I absolutely think is a huge pro to living in Charleston is the beauty, the natural scenic beauty. One of my absolute favorite aspects of living here is just being able to take leisurely walks around the city and get absolutely lost in its charm. It's like a daily pleasure. You can go down a street and just see these really old, intricate buildings and think to yourself, wow, like they built that 300 years ago. Like that is amazing. And you see the architecture, you see the detail that went in to some of these buildings. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So if, in conclusion, you're absolutely loving the Charleston lifestyle, the Charleston, South Carolina scene, and you're like, Ryan, it's got a lot to offer. I love it. Beautiful beaches, affordable housing, job opportunities. Just know that we have our issues. We have our problems like traffic, rental costs, and weather-related concerns. I totally get that. But if you're considering a move to Charleston, I'm here. I'm ready to help you out. I can assist you with whatever you need. 843-226-5535. If you're buying a home, I don't help with rent, but if you're buying a home, I can help you. I look forward to hearing from you soon and hearing more about your plans to buy a home here in Charleston, South Carolina. But do me a favor real quick. Go ahead and click this video right here.